since 2006. It's a regular season record of 9, perfect 8 conference mark. Not only did they collect conference trophy, but they swept their trophy game. They gained the Luther Cup 27-20 at WL back on September 20th, and they won back the Cheese Bowl trophy with a thrilling 41-34 overtime victory over the Lakeland Muskies on October 11th. They are led by head coach Greg Eder. This has been his winningest season since 2013 when the Falcons went undefeated. Eder is in his 18th season at the helm of the Falcons and has compiled a 66-48 record in conference play, and the Falcons are marking their third postseason appearance under Coach Eder. The Falcons' last postseason appearance was back in 2022 when they participated in the inaugural Lakefront Bowl. And Coach Eder this week was just named the 2025 NAC Conference Coach of the Year, and his offensive coordinator, Karan Watt, was named the Assistant of the Year in the NAC Conference. On the other sideline, you will find the College Cohawks. They are coached by head coach Tyler Staker. Staker is in his 17th season with the Cohawks and his 10th as head coach. He was named head coach back in 2015, taking over for his father, Steve. Staker and the Cohawks posted an 8-2 overall record, and they're 7-1 in conference play. Their only loss coming at the hands of Wartburg, the eventual conference champs. Staker's squad comes in today's contest ranked number 24 in the nation, and they are making their third straight trip to the NCAA playoffs. We are moments away from kickoff. It's what's going to be an epic clash of storied Midwest programs. Coe College won the coin toss, and they elected to defer to the second half. So it will be the Concordia Falcon returning the opening kickoff. And deep to return for the Falcons, number 80, Cameron Pierre, a NEC Conference honorable mention as a return specialist. Kicking off for the Cohawks, number 43, Nathan Valencia. Coe rocking their road white uniforms, Concordia in their home all blue. We have packed stands for what is the first playoff game here in Mequon in almost 20 years. And away we go. The opening kickoff will be returned by Pierre. It goes over his head in the end zone for a touchback. So the Falcons will start the ball, led by their junior quarterback, number 1, Roman Funk. Funk, a junior of Scottsdale, Arizona, a first-team all-conference nomination. He started and played in all 10 games for the Falcons. He's completing his passes at 63.6%. He's compiled over 2,500 yards, 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He's also carried the ball for 145 yards and 4 touchdowns. His best game of the season came back in a victory over Aurora when he threw for 478 yards and 7 touchdowns. He also added 1 on the ground. Yes, 8 touchdowns against Aurora, and he was named to the E3 Football Team of the Week. Opening play, handoff up the gut, bounces to the outside, makes a move, and he's wrapped up and swung down by number 3, Kyle Cole. So a loss of 2 on the opening play for the Falcons. It was number 23, Jacob Hugh, on the carry. So Falcons keeping it simple here to start things on the ground. A little inside zone. Pugh tried to bounce to the outside, but the Cohawks swarmed to the football. I do expect a lot of action on the ground today as it is chilly out there down on the field. Temperatures in the 40s, but a real feel in the low 30s, high 20s. Funk's first pass is complete. Number 7, Jack Bradley, a sophomore out of Tucson, Arizona. They pick up the negative yards and some. A total gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Falcons on their opening drive here. Bradley also a first-team all-conference honoree for the Falcons in this offense. Funk is alone in the backfield. 5 receivers split out wide. 3 to the top of the screen, 2 to the bottom. Funk drops back to pass, looks left, pumps, throws it, checks it down underneath. Caught right about the first line to gain. Goes number 80, Cameron Pierre. He's right about the line to gain, and the referees will award him a first down. So a pickup of exactly 6. It's exactly what Falcons need, and they pick up a first down here on the opening series in the game. Just a minute and a half in so far. Joining Funk in the backfield now is number 0, Shar Thomas, a senior back out of Punta Gorda, Florida. Falcons do their running backs by committee. 5 total players have played in 6+ games and have had multiple carries in said games. Funk quickly out wide to Pierre. Pierre gets a block, trying to slip a tackle, but the Cohawks there, and they get a stop. Falcons gain maybe half a yard. So Funk starts this afternoon 3 for 3, but only able to pick up one goes Pierre on a quick screen pass. Thomas remains in the backfield with Funk. Few personnel changes for the Falcons. It's Jason Leonard, number 12, at the top of the screen. 3 receivers split out wide, 1 to the bottom of Thomas remains in the backfield. Funk making some checks at the line. 2nd and 9. Funk will look to pass. Drops back. Good protection. Over the middle. He's got his man. It's Pierre again. Over the middle. First down. Falcons. Pierre was dumped immediately by number 5, Henry Ryan, but not until the Falcons pick up a first down, and Pierre remains on the ground. So with a quick injury timeout, let's talk about some more players to watch. We've talked about Funk. I mentioned Leonard just moments ago. He's the senior wide receiver out of Tampa, Florida. He is Funk's number 1 target. Hasn't been targeted yet in this game, but he is a first-team all-conference selection. He's played in all 10 games and started all 10 games this season. 47 catches, 925 yards, and a Concordia, Wisconsin record 16 touchdowns through the air. His best game came against Lakeland in a Cheese Bowl victory for the Falcons, where he caught 7 passes for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Pierre was able to walk off to the sideline. 4 receivers split out wide. Here's a give to Thomas. Thomas at the gut. Makes a man miss in the hole, but the Cohawks swarm and stop Thomas for a gain of 2. Leading the charge for the Cohawks there was their outstanding linebacker, number 12, Noah Tolbert. He's a sophomore out of Cape Coral, Florida, 6'2", 210, first-team all-conference player. He started all 10 games for this Cohawk defense, and he leads that defense in tackles with 66. He also has a sack, a forced fumble, and 2 interceptions on the season. So 2nd and 8, go the Falcons. Thomas remains in the backfield. Funk looking to pass. Pressure comes. Checks it down. It's actually Pugh on the sideline. Slips a tackle. Makes a move. He's got a first down and more inside the 40. Oh, and he stepped out of bounds just shy of the line to gain. So some nifty moves out of Pugh. His first reception of the game, and he puts the Falcons here 3rd and short up to the Cohawk 42-yard line. So Funk a perfect 5 of 5 to start the afternoon. And the Falcons have a 3rd and very manageable against this Cohawk defense. Falcons already taken over 4 minutes off the clock here in the opening period in Mequon. Cohawks bring 5 men to the line of scrimmage, showing pressure here. Pugh remains in the backfield with Funk. 1 man goes in motion across the formation. Funk, give, up the middle, Pugh straight ahead. He's got room to run. Slips a tackle, makes a move. He's down to the 30-yard line. A first down and more for the Falcons. Pugh's second carry is a big one, and the Falcons well into Cohawk territory now. A slow, methodical drive to open things up here for the Falcons is exactly what Cran White, the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, wants. A good balance between run and pass as the Falcons are just nearing the red zone. 1st and 10. 1 man goes across formation. It's a keeper for Funk. Funk up the middle. He's got blockers. Dives ahead. He's down near the 20. He'll mark him at the 23-yard line. So a pickup of 7. So Funk, not really known for his legs. Just 145 yards on the ground this season, 4 touchdowns on the ground, but he picks up 7 on the first down carry. Excellent play design for the Falcons as they stretch the Cohawk defense, and Funk makes him pay up the middle. So Thomas back on the field for the Falcons. You find him in the slot, bottom of the screen, 3 receivers to the top. Funk is alone in the backfield, making checks the line. Thomas will motion back into the backfield. Play clock winding down, under 5 to snap it. Thomas to Funk's left. They get it off just in time. Funk will drop back to pass. Looks left, throws left. He's got Leonard. Leonard makes a catch. He's got a first down inside the 20-yard line up to the 16. Jason Leonard's first catch of the day, and he picks up a first down for the Falcons. Excellent protection by the Falcons up front. Funk's got all the time in the world. He makes his read, and he gets to his number 1 trusted target, Leonard, and Falcons are inside the red zone for the first time this afternoon. 8.5 to go here in the opening period. Thomas remains in the backfield to the right of Funk. Cohawks showing pressure. Give us to Thomas up the gut. Slips a tackle, slips another. He's inside the 10, bounces off more, and he's down to the 7-yard line. Thomas's best carry of the afternoon so far, and he's got the Falcons inside the 10. Didn't pick up a first down just yet. They're a half-yard short. So the Falcons inside the 10. Figure you got 5 plays here to get into the end zone. First one to pick the fresh set downs, and it'll be first and goal. Thomas remains in the game. Falcons bring in their 12 personnel. They have 2 tight ends and Thomas in the backfield. 2 receivers will go to the top of the screen. Leonard split out wide, marked by number 3, Kyle Cole. Heavy set to the right side of the formation. Play action pass. Funk looking end zone. He's got a man over the middle. It's intercepted. So a huge play for this Cohawk defense. Funk's first incompletion of the afternoon results in an interception. And the Cohawks come up with a huge turnover. It's number 3, Colton Florence, a freshman defensive back out of Roswell, Georgia. And so what looked like a promising opening drive for the Falcons results in a turnover, and the Cohawks will take over at their 20-yard line. So this will be our first time to see number 7, Brady Kelly, the ARC Conference Offensive MVP. His first pass is complete on the outside, trying to cut it back, and a swarm of Falcons bring him down after a gain of 7. So Kelly, the starting quarterback for the Cohawks, started all 10 games, 2,600 yards through the air, a 68% completion percentage, 28 touchdowns, a Cohawk record, and just 6 interceptions. He also has 56 carries for 100 yards and 1 touchdown on the ground. So Kelly drops back to pass again. Good protection. Looks left. He's got a man down the sideline. It's complete. Big gain here for the Cohawks inside the Falcon 40, down to the 34. It's Kelly hooking up with number 8, Jaron Centers. A huge pick for the Cohawk offense, and they're quickly on the ball. 4 receivers split out wide. Kelly to pass once more. Pressure comes, looking to get out of it, and he can't escape. It's number 96, Mark Kenton Sellers for the Falcons. Gets his first sack of the afternoon, and it's a loss of 8 for Kelly and the Cohawk offense. Sellers was just named the Conference Defensive Lineman of the Year, a first-team all-conference selection, and a true game record up front for the Falcons, as he's been since he stepped foot on campus. Big number 96, you'll see him inside at the nose guard position. They'll also move him out to the edge. Kind of a do-it-all defensive lineman. Kelly drops back, pass, quick screen out to the flat. Cut it back inside the 30, down to the 29, so a big pickup for number 21, Quincy Drummer, this sophomore running back out of Missouri City, Texas. He picks up 10 on his second catch of the afternoon, and it's now 3rd and 5 for the Cohawks. So much like Funk, Kelly with a quick start to this one. He's 4 for 4 already. 11 personnel for the Cohawks. 2 receivers go to the bottom of the screen. 1 tight end goes in formation, goes in motion across the formation. Drummer the back. Kelly to pass once more. Looks left, throws left. He's got his man caught. Makes the move inside the 20 to the 15, and he's brought down in the red zone. It's Center again. So his second completion, second catch, second big pickup, and the Cohawk offense is moving here as they threaten as the ball is marked at the Falcon 14. So all passes to open this drive for the Cohawks. And this one's finally given to Drummer. Drummer cuts it back and he's stripped down. An excellent tackle made by number 43, Duncan Ireland III for the Falcons. A short pickup for Drummer, and it's 2nd and 9. Taking a look at this Falcons defense, they are coming off 2 games of not allowing a single point. Yes, their last 2 regular season games of the year, the Falcons won 35-0. Those are victories over Rockford and Eureka. The Cohawks threaten here. Tight end goes into motion across formation. Play action. Kelly over the middle. He's got a man. Slips a tackle, dives to the end zone. Touchdown, Cohawks. It's Kelly finding number 11, Devin Kolosh, and the Cohawks strike first this afternoon. A quick strike drive for the Cohawks, and they're on the board first as they take a 6-0 lead, 4:21 remaining in the first period. Koloff's a senior wide receiver out of Iowa, the #1 target for Kelly in this offense. 34 catches on the year, 701 yards, and his 6th touchdown of the season, as the extra point is good. So a promising drive for the Falcons results in an interception. The Kohawk offense turns a turnover into points, and they lead 7-0 here in the opening quarter. An 8-play drive. All passes with the exception of 1 carry for Drummers. It is a quick strike, quick hitting offense for the Kohawks. Kelly perfect on the opening drive. And the Kohawks were quickly up 7-0. So early on, we've seen a big difference between these offenses. The Kohawks, quick, fast pace, get to the line, hurry up offense, whereas the Falcons, they took almost 7 minutes off the clock in their opening drive as they got it down inside the Kohawk 10 before that interception, whereas the Kohawks then took that turnover into points. They take only 3.5 minutes off the clock. So I see 2 very different style of offenses between these 2 teams this afternoon. Pierre to return for the Falcons. Valencia to kick off for the Kohawks. The kick angling towards Pierre. He'll have room to run. He fields the 1. He's got blockers in front. Tries the right side. Trying to get to the sideline. And he will be wrapped up and brought down just shy of the 20-yard line. So return of 15. Falcons will set up shop at the 17-yard line. And we'll get our second look at Funk and the Falcon offense. Thomas will be back out there with Funk in the backfield. 2 receivers go to the top of the screen, 1 at the bottom. 11 personnel for the Falcons. I expect a carry to Thomas to open the drive here. Thomas up the gut. He's got good blockers. Tries to cut it back, and he hits a wall of Kohawk defenders. So a short pickup for Thomas. Thomas, you might notice, stands a little bit like Ashton Genty, something he kind of wants to resemble his game after. Similar build to Ashton Genty as well, and you notice he's in the backfield. He stands straight up. As Genty calls it, the Michael Myers. Thomas remains in the game to the right of Funk. 3 receivers top of the screen. Kohawk not showing pressure. Funk makes changes at the line. 10 seconds on the play clock. Just under 3.5 here in the first period. Funk to throw. Looks over the middle, checks it down. He's got Thomas. Thomas has room to run. He's got completion up the sideline, slips a tackle, cuts it back. Thomas fighting his way for extra yardage. He's going to get the ball up to the 39-yard line. His first catch of the day, and it's a big one for the Falcons as he's able to pick up 20 and a first down. Thomas entered today's game with just 8 catches on the year for 58 yards, but his first catch of the afternoon goes for a 20. So the Falcons are in business here. Funk, besides the interception, has been almost perfect for the Falcons to start this game. High snap, handled by Funk. Quick throw, looking for Pierre, and that one's through the hands of Pierre. So just a second incompletion for Funk, and a uncanny drop for Pierre on the outside. So we'll go to 2nd and 10 for the Falcon offense. So you notice the differences between these offenses. The Falcons do get to the line, but they all look to the sideline, all get the signals from their coaches. Funk likes to survey the field, use a little bit more of the play clock. He's got every receiver split out wide now. He'll drop back to pass. Looks right, throws right. It's a screen set up for Bradley. Bradley gets it across the 40, down near the 43-yard line. So a pickup of 5 for the Falcon offense. Good play design there for the Falcons as they got both receivers up the field. They come back, and a wave of blockers from the offensive line come to support Bradley. Bradley heads the sideline as the Falcons bring on a tight ends. 11 personnel. It's Pugh in the backfield with Funk. So again, the Falcons do their running back by committee. You'll see a little bit of Thomas, Pugh, even Espinoza. Funk will drop back to pass. Good protection. Goes to Pugh. Pugh cuts it. He's got a blocker across the 45 to the 49, and he's got enough for a first down. This Falcons offense keeps the drive alive with another completion to a running back. So I like what offensive coordinator Cran White has going for the offense here. He's giving Funk easy completions to start with this one so the offense can get in rhythm. Screens to Bradley, screens to the running backs. He hit Leonard on a quick slant, so Falcons not really pushing anything downfield, but they're giving Funk easy completions here. So 1st and 10, just about the 50-yard line. The give is to Pugh up the gut. Pugh bounces outside, tries to make man miss, and he's going to have a short gain before he's wrapped up by 4 or 5 Cohawks. Leading the charge was Tolbert there with the Cohawk defense. So Pugh picks up 2. 2nd and 8 for the Falcons coming up. Pierre heads to the sideline. Number 42, Drew Allen, a junior tight end out of Madison, Wisconsin, onto the field for the Falcons. Thomas replaces Pugh in the backfield. Bradley, the lone receiver, to the bottom of the screen. One man goes in motion across formation. Funk in the shotgun set. Thomas to him. Funk will look to pass. Delayed blitz. Easy completion. It's Allen. Allen's got room to run. Tries to make man miss. Dives across the 40 up to the 37. First down, Falcons. So Allen into the game. A easy catch and run. He's got the first down, and the Falcons will let the opening quarter expire as time winds down here from Mequon. It's 7-0 Cohawks with the Falcons driving yet again. We'll step away for a short break. You're watching the opening round of the NCAA Division III football playoffs on ESPN+.
Ladies, at this time, we proudly request that any current or former members of our armed forces please stand and be recognized. Ladies, let's hear it for these men and women who have given us so much to serve our country.
Stadium, the site of the opening round of the NCAA Division III football playoffs. It's the Falcons taking on the Cohawks. Funk opens the second quarter. They designed run. He cuts it back, dives inside the 35-yard line to the 34. Funk's second carry of the afternoon goes for 5. So the opening quarter, Funk 10 of 12, 79 yards, and of course that interception in the end zone, which the Cohawks turned into 7 points. But again, the Falcons driving here. Another slow, methodical, eat-up clock kind of offense. Again, Thomas to the back, to the left of Funk. 3 receivers go to the bottom of the screen. Funk to pass. He's got protection. Got a man over the middle. It's Bradley, but Bradley's quickly wrapped up and driven down. So another completion of Bradley, but it goes for no gain. And it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Falcons. That's already Bradley's 3rd catch of the afternoon. So again, Jason Leonard coming into today's game, the #1 target. Again, a school record, 16 touchdowns. But it's been Bradley and the running backs who have been Funk's main target so far. Again, when you're the #1 receiver, you're going to get the #1 defensive back. As Leonard finds himself today. Funk to pass. Looks right. Throws right. He's got a man. That's off hands. Batted around and falls incomplete.
thankful
is Funk. He was looking for Bradley again on a deep dig route over the middle of the field. Looks like he almost had him, but an excellent play to break it up by the Quahog defense. So I've noticed so far is that with Quahawks, it's number 3, Kyle Cole, marking Leonard one-on-one. So they're going man-to-man just on Leonard, and it's zone across the board as Funk tried to fit into a tight window, and that one got knocked down. But 4th and 6, inside the 35-yard line, the Falcons are going to go for it. I like the aggressiveness here. Funk's going to pass. Good protection. Throws right. He's got a man. Oh, and it's off the hands of a diving Pierre. He can't come up with it. And it's a turnover on downs for the Falcon offense. So another long, methodical drive, eating up clock. But it results in no points. So the Quahog offense will take the field for the second time this afternoon with excellent starting field position. They will start their second drive just shy of the 35-yard line. It's Kelly and Drummer in the backfield for the Quahawks. 3 receivers go to the top of the screen. Kelly's going to pass. He's going to use the completion. It's Drummer. Drummer makes a man miss. Makes 2. He's got a lot of room to run. In across the 50, inside the 40, and knocked out of bounds near the 35-yard line. So another pitch and catch for the Quahog running back, and they quickly flip this side of the field, and they quickly get on the ball. So Kelly A. Perk 6 for 6 so far in the afternoon, and they got it. And the Quahawks offense has another big pickup. 4 receivers go out wide. Kelly with Drummer in the backfield. Kelly to pass once more. Looking left, has no man, doesn't have a man. He checks it down to Drummer. Drummer makes the catch, and he's quickly brought down by Birch, Ireland III, and a couple other Falcons. This is an excellent opportunity to bring up Ben Birch, the junior linebacker out of Grafton, Wisconsin. He's just 5'7", 190 pounds. He has been a stud for this Falcon defense. He started all 10 games, leads the team in tackles with 85, and he was named the Conference Defensive Player of the Week after posting a 22 tackle performance. Yes, a 22 tackle performance, 13 of them solo back in their win over Lakeland. Drummer got the handoff up the gut, picks up the first down, just his second carry of the afternoon. But it's just enough for the first down up to the 23-yard line of the Falcons. So the Quahawks knocking on the door again. It's the first time we see the Quahog offense huddle. They have 2 running backs in the game. Play clock already at 10. Kelly with 2 backs in the backfield. 3 receivers go out wide. This is a give to Drummer. Drummer's got a block. He knifes through the Falcons defense, and he's going to pick up another first down. Just shy, actually. He's half a foot away from the line to gain. So a pickup of 9 on the first down carry for Drummer. And Drummer putting together an excellent day early on here against this Falcons defense. Give once more to Drummer, up the gut, bounces outside, makes a man miss, to the goal line, stood up, still running his feet, and the Falcon defense finally brings him down just inside the 1. So a pickup of 12 for the Drummer, and the Quahawks first and goal inside the Falcon 1. So this quick pace and the quick snap counts have the Falcons on the heel as the Quahawks knocking on the door once more. Two running back set, 1 tight end tight to the right side of formation. Kelly in the shotgun set. He's going to give to Drummer. Drummer makes the man miss, bounces to the outside, and an easy touchdown for the Quahog. They punch it in for their second of the afternoon. Drummer's first. And they're quickly up 13-0 here on the Falcons. This Falcons defense, who hasn't given up a point all month, has quickly given up 13 here in the first half to the Quahawks. Extra point pending. Hold was down, kick is good, and it's Cohawks 14, Falcons nothing. 10:43 to go here in the opening half from MEC 1, Wisconsin. So a 66-yard drive for the Cohawks. They did it in under 3 minutes, and they have built themselves a 14-0 lead here early on.
Tell the world you are here. Share your experiences. Connect with other fans and get behind-the-scenes access to your favorite teams.
So it's not like the Falcon offense has struggled this afternoon. They have moved the ball consistently, whether it be on the ground or through the air. But a turnover, an interception in the end zone, a turnover on downs, and that has quickly resulted in 2 touchdowns for the Cohawks. The Falcon defense doesn't seem to have an answer for Drummer, as it was all Drummer on that last drive. Started with a reception, and there's a run, touchdown for Drummer. The most simple way to summarize that drive for the Cohawks. So a healthy dose of Drummer, and the Cohawks lead 14-0 as Valencia looks to kick it away. Kick is deep, angling, it gets caught up in the wind. It's going to be fielded just outside the 15. Pick up some blocks. He's got room to run. Across the 35, brought down at the 38. So an excellent kickoff return for the Falcons. It's number 11, Victor Watson Jr., the sophomore out of Texas. And the Falcon offense, for their 3rd drive this afternoon, will get excellent starting field position at their own 39-yard line. After a return of 23. So we've seen how the Falcons slow, methodical drives, but effective. Funk, only 3 incompletions on the afternoon. Seen a decent amount of Pugh and Thomas in the backfield. It's Pugh up the gut, trying to left side, and he's quickly wrapped up and brought down. No gain on the 1st down carry for the junior running back out of Atlanta, Georgia. So not a ton of production from the Falcons on the ground early on. Pugh, his 5th carry, just 16 yards on the afternoon, where Thomas has 4 carries for 16. We've even seen Funk tuck in and run a couple of times for decent gains, but that's about it for on the ground for the Falcons. They've mostly done it through the air. Here's Funk to pass. Quick throw right. He's got Bradley, and Bradley brings it up across the 50-yard line for a 1st down. So a quick pitch and catch, a 1st down for the Falcons, and they're on Cohawk side of the field. Take it back. Ball spotted exactly at the 50-yard line. Bradley has been the number 1 target for Funk early on. That's Bradley's 5th catch so far. Everyone gets spread out wide here for Funk. 3 receivers go to the bottom of the screen, to the top. Funk alone in the backfield. Cohawks, 3 down linemen, 1 linebacker, kind of showing pressure. Funk, quarterback run, draw up the gut. Funk with a decent pickup on 1st down. He picks up 4, and he's into Cohawk territory. So Funk didn't come into this afternoon much of a threat on the ground, but he's had 3 designed runs, and they've all gone for positive gains. So that's good to see out of the junior quarterback. He can't just not just doing it through the air, but he can also use his legs and pick up some meaningful yards. Different running back in the game for the Falcons. 2 receivers top of the screen. 1 man goes in motion. Funk's going to take himself, and he's hit by hard hit across the 30, across the 45 to the 44. So a pickup of 2, and an excellent tackle there by the Cohawk safety. Number 22, Jack Clarahan. So 3rd and manageable here for the Falcons. 3rd and 4. Ball started at the 44. 5 receivers spread out wide for Funk. No pressure zone here. Good protection for Funk. Funk's going to check it all the way down to the left side of the screen. He's got room to run across the 35. Looking for the 30-yard line. Brought down at the 32. goes number 27, Jerome Hinton, a freshman running back out of Racine, Wisconsin. His first touch of the afternoon. It goes for a Falcon first down, and they're well into Quahog territory now. 1st and 10 from the 32. Hinton remains in the backfield for the Falcons, the third running back used for the Falcons so far. Again, they do it by committee. We've seen Thomas and Pugh, but now Hinton getting this drive. They give it to Hinton up the gut. He lowers his shoulder, and he's going to pick up a couple yards on the ground. Inside the 30, up to the 29, and he's going to pick up 3. Quahog defense has been tough against the run, but the Falcons have been able to move the ball, right? Slow, methodical drives, good mix of on the ground and through the air. Falcons again for the third time. All 3 drives have resulted in them on plus side of the field. Blitz comes. Funk never sees it. He gets hit from behind. That pass goes incomplete. Pressure applied by number 12, Noah Tolbert. And he laid a big hit on Funk as Funk remains down on the ground holding his left arm. This could be trouble for the Falcon offense. We're going to step away as the trainers attend to Funk, who's down on the ground. It'll be 3rd and 7 when we come back. Funk was able to get back to the sideline under his own power, being tended to by the trainers down the Falcon sideline. Into the game comes number 15, Justin Clark, the sophomore quarterback out of Goodyear, Arizona. This snap goes over his head, and he has to wisely fall on it. So danger for the Falcons. They're going to lose over 20 yards on a bad snap. I don't think Clark was ever ready for it. It was right over his head. And so what was another promising drive inside the 30 of the Quahawks, this ball finds its way back to the 46-yard line. The Falcons are going to have to punt for the first time this afternoon. Back to return for the Quahawks goes number 6, Latrell Taylor. Low snap. Can't handle. Kick still gets away. Low wobbly line drive. Doesn't hit anyone. The Falcons get a fortunate roll as this ball rolls to the 17-yard line. So back-to-back bad snaps. But the Falcons fortunate to get that one away and pin the Quahawks deep into their own territory. So again, it's kind of bitter cold here on the shore of Lake Michigan. Temperatures in the low 40s. That feels like down on the field in the 20s, maybe the low 30s. So that ball might feel like a rock, right? And there's no grip. When temperatures are this low, the ball kind of gets slippery. There's not a lot of feel on it. So back-to-back bad snaps. Falcons turn it over. And this ball is actually spotted at the 29-yard line. It may have hit a Falcons defender when it was rolling. Either way, Quahawks back to work. Gives to Drummer. Drummer's to tackle, and he's wrestled down by Birch after a short gain. Drummer picks up 2 on the first down carry. It'll be 2nd and 8. So we haven't seen Trayshawn Cunningham, the running back for the Quahawks. It's 23 in the backfield, but Kelly play action pass. This one intended for Latrell Taylor. Not on the same page, and that's Kelly's first incompletion, and the Falcons now have the Quahawks in 3rd and long. I was saying we haven't seen number 3 Trayshawn Cunningham yet this afternoon. In the backfield with Drummer and Kelly that time was number 23 Karsten Meester, a freshman out of Cedar Falls, Iowa. So this Falcons defense has put the Cohawks in third down for just the first time this afternoon. This Falcons defense really needs to stop as the Falcons find themselves in a 14-0 hole. Kelly to pass, looking right. It's a setup screen on a huge hit and a big stop for the Falcon defense. Reading it perfectly is Ben Birch, the junior linebacker out of Grafton, Wisconsin. So the Falcons make the Cohawks go 3 and out. And there's a stiff, tough defense for the Falcons that we're accustomed to seeing all season. It's an unfortunate event the last time the Falcons had the ball, but the defense stands tall. A 3 and out and a beautiful play by Ben Birch. Back to return to the Falcons is Nick Crowell. He's going to let this one bounce. And a bad punch from the Cohawks Valencia as this one's marked down at the 49-yard line. So a 3 and out. Excellent starting field possession for the Falcons. Let's see if Funk in this Falcon offense can get something going here as Funk makes his way back on the field. As we take a minute to highlight Ben Bird again, a first-team all-conference selection, and he's from Grafton, Wisconsin. And just last night, the Grafton Blackhawks football team won the Division II state championship over at Camp Randall in Madison, Wisconsin. So congratulations to Grafton, their first state title in over 40 years. The last time they had won the state championship was 1982. So their first state championship in 40 years. And one of their own getting the things done for the Falcons defense. First down half to Thomas. Thomas has blockers. He's in the open field. He's inside the 30 to the 20, 15. He's knocked out of bounds near the 10-yard line. Ashar Thomas electrifying the Falcon faithful and the Falcon offense in the red zone for the second time this afternoon. Excellent blocking on the right side of the offensive line. Thomas was not touched as he scanned in the open field. He's knocked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. So it's 1st and 10. Falcons inside the Cohawk red zone. Falcon faithful on their feet. Give us to Thomas again. Up the gut. He's got room to run. He's dragged down from behind. By number 12, Noah Tolbert, the leading tackler for the Cohawks. But Thomas still able to pick up 2 on the first down carry. Thomas will get a breather as we see Pugh re-enter the game. Cameron Pierre replaces Allen. We're approaching 3:30 mark here in the opening half. Cohawks with a 14-0 lead over the Falcons. Falcons have been down here before. Last time they were in the red zone early in the first quarter, and Funk was intercepted in the end zone. Here's to give to Pugh. Pugh's got blocking. Cut it back inside. He's down inside the 5. Right about the line to gain. Down at the 4. And they'll mark him just shy of the line to gain. So it'll be 3rd and inches from the 4. Falcons have 4 opportunities to push this one in here. Right on 3rd down, get the first down, fresh set of downs, 4 opportunities at the end zone from inside the 4. Falcons bring in their 12th personnel. Pugh remains the back, 2 tight ends set, 2 receivers spread out wide. It's Bradley top of the screen, Leonard bottom of the screen. 2 tight ends to the right side of the formation. Funk, Pugh up the gut. He's got the first down, but he stopped just shy of the line of the goal line. Pugh's marked down at the 2 and a first down for the Falcons. 1st and goal. Pugh remains in the game. 2 tight ends set. Tight ends to the left side of the formation this time. We're approaching the 2-minute mark in the opening half. A lot of bodies near the goal line. Gives to Pugh, up the gut, to tackle, dives ahead, touchdown Falcons! Jacob Pugh punches it in, and the Falcons on the board. This time the defense stands tall. Excellent starting field possession, and the Falcons offense punches it in. Pugh from 2, and the Falcons get 6. have not seen the Falcons run a fake field goal all season, but that might give their special teams coordinator a little, show that the Quahog special teams was not ready for their swinging gate formation. So maybe the Falcons get tricky later on this game as the extra point is good. It's Quahogs 14, Falcons 7. 2 minutes to go in the opening half here from MEC 1, Wisconsin. So a 51-yard drive, all on the ground for the Falcons, is able to get on the board for the first time this afternoon. So a running game that wasn't providing much. A huge run by Ashar Thomas set them up inside the 15, and it's Pugh the rest of the way as the Falcons punched it in from 2 as they finally got on the board. It's Quahogs 14, Falcons 7. 2 minutes to go here in the opening half. From MEC 1, Wisconsin, this is the first round of the NCAA Division III football playoffs. The Falcons, the NAC champions outright, first time since 2013, taking on college Quahawks, who finished second in the ARC. But this is the Quahawks' third straight trip to the NCAA playoffs, their fourth time under head coach Tyler Staker. So they definitely have more experience when it comes to these kind of situations than this Falcons team. So Falcons to kick off from right to left. A deep boot. This one's going to be fielded about the 18-yard line. Trying the right side. Slips a tackle and finally wrestled down out near the 26-yard line goes number 84. Caden Schultz. Under 2 to play here. Quahawks with a 7-point lead. Last time they were out here, a quick 3-and-out thanks to Ben Burge and the Falcon defense. Let's see if Kelly and this Quahog offense can get back in rhythm. Kelly just 1 incompletion so far in the afternoon, and the Quahawks have featured a healthy dose of Drummer, especially on their last drive. This one, first pitch and catch to Drummer. Drummer's got blockers as he gets across the 35, and he's out of bounds near the 40-yard line. Drummer on their second drive. Healthy dose of him on the ground, but he's also been really effective through the air. He's got a handful of catches, all going for positive plays. That one resulted in a first down. Here's Drummer up the gut, bouncing to the left side. He's got blockers out in front, trying to get to the sideline. Falcons run him up, but Drummer's able to pick up 9 on the first down carry, but clock keeps running. Both teams have 3 timeouts, and the Quahawks will use their first as they have the ball near the 46-yard line. So with 1:33 remaining here in the second quarter, Quahawks with a 7-point lead, looking to tack on more. And remember, they can go 2 for 1 here. They deferred on the opening kickoff and kicked off, so they could score here and start the ball in the second half. That was just the 9th rushing attempt for the Quahawks, the 8th for Drummer. But again, Drummer has been very effective for the Quahawk offense, along with Kelly with just 1 incompletion. So with the exception of last drive, the Quahawk offense has moved the ball at will on the Falcon defense. Let's see if the Falcons can tighten things up here and get a stop before the end of the half. So the officials add 2 seconds back to the game clock. Falcons in a 3-4 defensive look, 4 defensive backs. Cohawks spread out 4 receivers. Drummer remains in the backfield. Falcons show pressure. Blitz comes off the edge. Here's pressure on Kelly. Kelly escapes, and the pressure remains on. Kelly tries the left side, and he throws it out of bounds, and a flag came on late in that one. So Kelly doing his best Caleb Williams impersonation as he's able to escape the grasp of Duncan Ireland III. A excellent drawn up blitz there for the Falcons. Their first real pressure on Kelly all afternoon, and we're going to get our first flag of the afternoon as well. So it's been a quick, clean game on both sides of the ball, and we'll wait the call. So as Kelly rolled out to his right, one of his offensive linemen was working back towards him, which has been taken out of the game. So he's called the blindside block. The officials walk off only 10 yards, not 15, but still a big loss for the Cohawk offense as they're now faced with 2nd and 11. Drummer remains in. Pressure from the Falcons again. Kelly, over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. Dragged down by Birch inside the 35-yard line. Goes Devin Kolash, and the Cohawks quickly get to the line again. So they flip the field after a penalty, and they're in business now on the Falcons plus side territory. Kelly to pass once more. Checks it down to Drummer, and Drummer tried to make a move upfield before securing the catch. So the second incompletion for Kelly, intended for Drummer. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Clock stopped at 1:13. The ball is spotted at the 34-yard line of the Falcons. 2nd and 10 for the Cohawks. Kelly to pass once more. A little bit of pressure from the Falcons. Dumps it off to Drummer. That one's through Drummer's hands again. In coverage was Duncan Ireland in the 3rd. So 2 checkdowns to Drummer, 2 going through his hands. And the Cohawks now at 3rd and 10 quickly. So 3rd and long, money down for the Falcons. It got them right where they want them. Late in the first half, Cohawks 7-point lead, trying to tack on more. Falcons defense definitely going to be defending the pass here. They've drawn up a couple blitzes recently. One receiver goes to the top of the screen. Kelly to pass once more. He's going to throw it to Drummer. Drummer hangs on to this one, but he's quickly wrapped up and brought down by Birch. So a short gain for Drummer. And the Cohawks are now faced with 4th down for the just 2nd time this afternoon. It'll be 4th and 8, and the Cohawks use their 2nd timeout of the first half. So a 10-yard penalty. He flipped the side of the field with Kolash, the #1 receiver for Kelly. They connect. They get it down to Falcon territory, but 2 drops and a short completion. It's now 4th and 8 for the Cohawks. Falcons need to stop here, and then they need to move quickly on offense if they have any chance at tying this up before the halftime whistle. Birch and Ireland III, definite leaders of this Falcons defense. Again, Birch coming in today's action with 80-plus tackles, the leading tackler for the Falcon defense, as he made the stop on Drummer just moments ago. So we come on a timeout. 4 receivers split out wide for Kelly. Drummer in the backfield, flanked to his left. Falcons not showing pressure. Drummer out of the backfield. Pressure comes off the edge. Kelly sees it, rips it to Kolash, and Kolash has it inside the 35, inside the 25, down to the 21, and the Cohawks pick up a 4th and 8. They'll use their 3rd timeout of the first half as we're under a minute to play here. So every time Kelly has looked Kolash's way, it has been a pitch and catch and a big play. 2nd and 11 to a big 30-yard pickup, a 4th and 8. He picks up 10. Kolash, again, the #1 receiver for these Cohawks and a trusted target of Kelly. Kelly's only incompletions have been the drops by Drummer just moments ago, so really effective through the air. And again, the Falcons have seen a healthy dose of Drummer as pace has really slowed down here. I think the Cohawks, like we've seen, they move quickly to the line of scrimmage. They go up tempo, quick snap counts. I think these timeouts, yes, they need to preserve time clock, but I feel like they like to move within rhythm. So the more they kind of just slow themselves down, the more trouble they may face. As we just saw, they got themselves in the 4th and 8. Thankfully, they pick it up. So 11 personnel here for the Cohawks. Tight end goes in motion across the formation. Drummer the back. Action. Looking outside. It's caught. Pitch and catch. First down to the 11. That's a quick pitch and catch to centers on the outside. And a quick timeout here as we reset the chain. So this ball is going to be spotted just shy of the 11-yard line. 1st and 10 Cohawks. 40 seconds to go in the first half. Officials not running the game clock.
47 seconds. 47 seconds.
So the officials add 7.
47 seconds. 47.
The officials add 7 seconds to the game clock. So there's 47 seconds to go here in the first half. They haven't wound the game or play clock just yet. They reset the chains, and that usually signals to start the game clock moving again. But they add time. Kelly to pass once more. Pressure comes off the back foot. This ball flutters in the air and goes nowhere. No flags down. Falcons sideline pleading for an intentional grounding as pressure was in Kelly's face. He kind of just fluttered that one up. He was looking for number 6, Latrell Taylor, but I don't know. I don't feel like it was in his general vicinity, but no flags fly. It will be 2nd and 10 for the Cohawk offense just outside. Oh, the officials gather up here. They're discussing it. And a flag comes out late. So the clock is stopped here with 37 seconds. The officials talk about it, and this all signs point to intentional grounding here on the Cohawks. Coach Etter gets the explanation from the line judge, so the officials spot the ball back 10 yards from the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and 20 for the Cohawk offense. No time comes off the clock. It should be under a minute to go. It should be a 10-second runoff. So I don't know if I was getting confused with the NFL rules, but it is a loss of down and a 10-second runoff. So a huge mistake from the ARC Conference Offensive MVP, Kelly, for his intentional grounding. So we'll go to 3rd and 20. They lose 10 seconds. We have under 30 seconds to go here in the opening half. We're waiting for the game clock to be reset. 27 seconds. As the Cohawks are at the line of scrimmage.
Please reset the game clock to 27 seconds. 27 seconds. Thank you.
So 3rd and 20 late in the first half. This Falcons defense needs to come up with a stop. Drummer remains in the backfield. Kelly's going to roll out left. Throws left. He's got a man. Makes a cutback inside, and he's brought down in the field of play. So this makes the clock run. The Cohawks are out of timeouts. And it'll be 4th down as the clock continues to run inside 10 seconds. Bear White making the stop for the Falcon defense. Oh, and the Cohawks actually have 1 timeout remaining. So they stop the clock with 2 seconds, and they're going to bring on the field goal unit to try and tack on 3 points before the end of the half. So at some point along that drive, it was the Falcons who took a timeout. So the Cohawks keeping 1 in their back pocket, and an excellent call by their head coach, Tyler Stager. Again, he has been a head coach the past 10 seasons for the Cohawks, making his 3rd straight appearance in these playoffs. So a ton of experience in types of games just like this. The ball will be marked at the 15-yard line. Field goal unit comes on. It'll be a 32-yard attempt for Valencia and the Cohawks. 2 seconds to go. Falcons have 9 men at the line of scrimmage. It looks like they're bringing pressure up the gut. And a timeout by Coach Eder, trying to ice the Quahog kicker. So good little chess match going on between head coaches here as it's 14-7, just moments away from halftime. Quahog's trying to go up 10, heading to the locker room. Reminder, they deferred the opening kickoff, so they will return the opening kick of the second half. They're trying to make it a 2-score game here. So pretty even game offensively between these two teams, but it's the quick pace of the Quahawks and a early interception from Funk that making a difference here. So Valencia will try a 32-yard attempt before halftime. Falcons show pressure up the middle. Good snap, hold is down, kick is on its way. And it's good. So as time expires here in the first half, the Quahawks tack on 3 more, and they will head to the locker room with a 17-7 lead. Halftime here from MEC1 Wisconsin. We got a good one here between the College Quahog and the Concordia University Wisconsin Falcons. You're watching opening round of the NCAA Division III football playoffs on ESPN+. Welcome back to MEC1, Wisconsin. It has been a excellent battle between the College Quahog and the Concordia University Wisconsin Falcons here at Concordia University Wisconsin in MEC1, Wisconsin. Recapping the opening half, the Falcons took the opening drive and they were driving. They got it down inside the 10, but an interception by the Quahog defense proved pivotal in this one as Co quickly turned that into a touchdown. It was Kelly finding Kolosh for a 12-yard touchdown to open the scoring. Then Concordia gets the ball back. They turn it over on downs after a 5.5-minute drive. Co quickly turns around and scores it thanks to a 2-yard run by Drummer, who had a healthy dose of yardage there in the first half. And then finally, the Falcons defense comes up with a 3-and-out, a poor punt from Co, and Concordia turns it into a 51-yard touchdown drive, doing it all on the ground. And it was Jacob Pugh from 2 yards out who got the Falcons on the board. And then moments before halftime, Co tacked on a field goal as time expired. I apologize in the first half, I had the numbers wrong. The kicker for Co is Jay Collette, so he tacked on a field goal as time expired, and we sit 17-7 Quahawks so far. Reviewing the first half in stats, as I said, Quincy Drummer got a healthy dose of targets and carries in that one. He's been everything the Quahawks have needed on offense. He has 6 carries for 40 yards. He's also the leading receiver with 6 catches and 85 yards. Centers is the second leading receiver for the Quahawks with 4 catches for 70 yards. And Kelly, the ARC offensive MVP of the conference, was 14 of 17 for 196 yards and a touchdown through the air. For the Falcons, again, they're doing it by committee in the backfield, but Thomas is the leading rusher. 5 carries, 53 yards. Pugh with a touchdown and 25 yards on the ground, and Funk even got into the action with 17 yards on the ground. Funk, who got banged up in the first half, but remained in the game, 13 of 18, 103 yards through the air, and just the 1 interception. So the offenses have been duking it out, both teams with 11 first downs, but it's the Falcons' turnover on downs and interception that proved to be the difference in this one, as the Quahawks have a 10-point lead here at the half. So going into the second half, Concordia needs to get some stops on defense. They first won 3-and-out, but there was a couple of times on 3rd and long where the Quahawks were able to convert. And on that last drive before the field goal as time expired, it was 4th and 9, and they gave up a 12-yard completion, which set up the Quahawks for the field goal. On offense, Leonard has only been targeted 1 time. Again, Leonard came into today's action as the #1 receiver for the Falcons. He had 16 touchdowns on the year, and he even had games of 7, 6, and 5 catches. So they need to find Leonard on the offensive end. As for Co, I think they just need to keep doing more of the same. They need to continue feeding Drummer. Again, Drummer had 14 total touches for over 100 yards and a touchdown in the opening half. He's doing it both on the ground and through the air. So keep up the pace on offense for Co. Get some stops on defense for Concordia, and this game could be one way or the other. But again, it's Quahawks 17, Falcons 7. Stay tuned. We are about 9 minutes away from the second half action between Co and the Concordia University Wisconsin Falcons. Coming up next, you're watching the first round of the NCAA Division III football playoffs on ESPN+. Welcome back. It's the Concordia University of Wisconsin Falcons taking on the College Cohawks. It's 17-7 Cohawks, and they will return the opening kickoff to start the second half. A quick recap: this going an interception in the end zone on the Falcons, quickly turned into a touchdown for Cohawks. The Falcons offense turned it over on downs. Cohawks quickly the other way. Drummer punches it in from 2 yards out. It was 14-0 Cohawks until the Falcons get granted excellent field possession. They run it 51 yards. It was Pugh from 2 yards out, and it was 14-7, but just seconds away from halftime, and it was Colette kicking one through the uprights, and that's where we stand, 17-7 Cohawks. It's the first round of the NCAA Division III playoffs. The first time these Falcons have been in the playoffs in over 12 years. The Cohawks' third straight postseason appearance. Back to the Falcons again, a historic season, a perfect 8-0 mark, outright NAC champions, first home playoff game in almost 20 years, and they're taking on a tough, battle-tested Cohawk team that finished second in conference play behind Wartburg. Wartburg, the ARC champions, get a first-round bye, and they're on the other side of the bracket. The winner of this game will travel to Minnesota and take on Bethel College in the second round of the playoffs. So Cohawks lead by 10, and they will return the opening kickoff of the second half. Kason Brennan, a sophomore out of Overland Park, Kansas, set to kick off for the Falcons. Two return men go deep for the Cohawks as we are set to go. Second half action here from Mequon, Wisconsin. Falcons kicking off right to left, their home blue unis. Short kick. This one's going to be fielded right about the 20-yard line. To block some green space, and an excellent tackle by the Falcons special teams unit brings him down at the 33-yard line, and that's where the Cohawks will start for their first drive of the second half. Again, Brady Kelly, 14 of 17, just shy of 200 yards to the air and a touchdown pass, the ARC offensive MVP this season. And joining him in the backfield, number 21, Quincy Drummer. Again, Drummer, the leading receiver and leading rusher for the Cohawk offense. Three receivers and a tight end go to the top of the screen. Drummer in the backfield. Counter here. Drummer gets it left side, and Drummer quickly wrapped up by a flock of Falcons. Short gain. Drummer picks up 2 on the first down carry, and we go to 2nd and 8 for the Falcon defense. Again, this Falcon defense led up front by number 96, Marquinton Seller, the NAC Defensive Lineman of the Year. And right behind him, number 43, Duncan Ireland III, number 33, Ben Birch, the leading tacklers and captains of this Falcon defense. Birch up at the line of scrimmage. Falcons show pressure. Kelly in the shotgun set. Kelly drops back. Quick left. Quick throw to the left. Blocker in front goes Kolash, and Kolash is driven out of bounds just across the 40-yard line, out of bounds at the 41. So the Falcons quickly get the Cohawk offense into 3rd down. Kolash's 4th reception of the afternoon, a short gain. They mark him back at the 40-yard line exactly, so it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Cohawk offense. This gives to Drummer. Drummer up the gut, slips a tackle, spinning, and he gets just across the 45-yard line. He is just enough for a first down. So a 3rd and 6 becomes a 1st and 10. And that was kind of the story in the first half. The Falcon defense getting the Cohawks into 3rd and mediums, getting them into 4th down, but not coming up with a stop and getting off the field. Of course, when they did get a 3 and out, the Falcon offense quickly turned it into points. This defense needs to come up with them stops here and give the offense a lot of room and time to work with. They go back to Drummer on the ground. Drummer a pickup of 3 on the first down carry, just shy of midfield, down at about the 49-yard line. Drummer's 9th carry of the afternoon, just shy of 50 yards on the ground. So start this drive. Cohawks, committed to putting the ball on the ground. Just one pass for Kelly so far. Man goes in formation, across formation, play action pass, quick catch, a one-handed grab. Goes Centers, and Centers is wrapped up and thrown out of bounds just across the 50, out of bounds at the 48. So good play action pass, great play design, get Kelly a nice easy completion, trusted receiver, but the Falcons again have the Cohawks at third down. It'll be 3rd and 2 at the 47. Three receivers split out wide, 2 to the top of the screen, 1 to the bottom, 1 tight end, Drummer the back to the left of Kelly. Kolash goes in motion, and it gives to Drummer up the gut. Drummer's got a blocker, knives through the defense, out across the 40, down to the 39, and it's another Cohawk first down on the ground. So a team that struggled to run the ball in the first half has committed to the run game, and they pick up 2 first downs thanks to Drummer. Drummer remains in the game. Trayshawn Cunningham in the backfield as well. Drummer kind of in the H-back set. Cunningham will get the carry up the gut. Good blocker, slips a tackle, and he's in the opening field. Across the 30, cuts it back, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line. So a big pickup for the running back, Cunningham. His longest of the day, the longest for the Cohawks all afternoon, and it's another first down on the ground. So a team that threw the ball 17 times, only ran it 7 in the first half, has opened this drive with a handful of run plays. Cunningham remains in the backfield, split back set for Kelly in the shotgun formation. Kelly will throw this time. Mass protection, looking deep, no one open. Kelly's going to tuck it and run, and he's going to be wrapped up and brought down by Mark Hinton Sellers. Sellers, his second sack of the afternoon, drops Kelly for a loss of 3.
Down at the 28-yard line. Second down and 12.
So Sellers, who came into today's action with 5.5 sacks on the year, he's got 2 this afternoon. It puts the Cohawks at 2nd and 13 from the 28-yard line. 2-back set, gets to Drummer, tries right side, gets a block, and he's going to be wrapped up from behind and brought down. An excellent hit, stops him at the 25. It's going to be 3rd and 10 coming up for the Cohawk offense. So the Falcon defense and the Falcon faithful come to life. It's 3rd and long for the Cohawks. Logan Dable on the stop up front for the Falcons. Couple of changes on the offensive personnel and the defensive personnel. Kelly in the shotgun set. 1 tight end, tight to the line of scrimmage on the left. Kolash in motion. We've seen this before. Gives it to Drummer up the gut. Drummer is going to be brought down by Birch. An excellent tackle in the hole. And the Falcons' leading tackler comes up with another stop. He drops Drummer for a gain of 2. It'll be 4th and 8 for Co. So clock turning here. What was a fast-paced offense in the first half. The Cohawks have already taken off 5.5 minutes to open the 3rd quarter. 3 receivers go out wide for Kelly. Kelly making a change at the line of scrimmage. 15 on the play clock. Falcon faithful on their feet. Drummer the offset back to Kelly's left. Kelly will pass. Looking left. Throws left. He's got his man. Centers comes back for it. Makes a catch. Slips a tackle. And Centers is into the end zone. Aaron Centers, a junior wide receiver out of Marion, Iowa. A 4th and 8. A quick pitch and catch. Slips a tackle. And he races into the end zone. So the Cohawks with an open second half with a touchdown. And another failed opportunity for the Falcon defense. 4th and 8. Soft coverage on the outside. Centers runs a good route. Can't make a tackle in the back end. And the Cohawks extend their lead. 23-7 extra point pending. Oh, and Collette's extra point is blocked. So some pressure up the gut. It looked like it was Sellers who got a paw on it. So the extra point is no good, and the Cohawks lead stands at 16, 23-7, 9:08 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Crazy enough, I mentioned Sellers. He's got 2 sacks on the afternoon. That's 7.5 on the season. That's his third blocked kick of the season. So Sellers making a little bit of a difference up front for the Falcons, but on the back end, they couldn't get a stop. A 4th and 8 becomes a touchdown, and the Hawks extend their lead, strike first here in the second half. So now facing a 16-point deficit. At some point, the Falcon offense will have to pick up the pace. I don't think the time's yet, right? Plenty of time. Just over 9 minutes in the third quarter. Again, you got the fourth quarter. So no need for urgency yet. I think the Falcons, they did a great job in the first half, keeping it on the ground. Their touchdown drive was 51 yards, 6 of them, all of them coming on the ground, thanks to 6 carries, a big run by Rashard Thomas that set them up inside the red zone. So the Falcons, they can commit to the run, keep it on the ground, keep a balanced attack. They can take time off the clock, but at one point, they will have to speed it up. Collect kicks off deep, angling right. This one we feel it at the 15. Trying the left side, he's got blockers. Oh, and he runs out of room. 3 Cohawks converge. Excellent special teams coverage. And the Falcons are going to start their opening second half drive at the 20-yard line. So Funk, who was banged up after he took a blindside hit from Tolbert late in that first half, he remains in the game for the Falcons. Thomas with it back to start things off here in the second half. And play is quickly stopped here. Officials will have a meeting, the back judge and the umpire, discussing time on the clock. Couldn't hear the official, some technical difficulties from his microphone. It looks like they may want to add some time back onto the clock. They add time, so 8:59 remain in the third quarter, 23-7 Cohawk lead. Funk in the backfield with Thomas. Cameron Pierre goes in motion across the formation. Funk gives to Thomas. Thomas cuts it left, trying to fight off a tackle, and he's spun down just shy of the 25-yard line. He'll be dropped at the 23, so he picks up 3 on the first down carry. Eleven personnel for the Falcons. Thomas remains as the back. 2 receivers top of the field. Leonard to the bottom. Leonard again on 1 target in the first half. Thomas up the gut. Good blocking. He's got green space. Makes cut. Oh, and he's tripped up a shoestring tackle at the 35 up to the 36. Thomas had a ton of green grass ahead of him, but another explosive run out of number 0. Thomas, again, resembles his game after Ashton Genty. You'll notice he'll stand in the backfield just like Genty does, who made his stance famous in college at Boise State. Similar build for Thomas, too. They go back to Thomas, trying the right side, slips a tackle, and he'll pick up maybe 1 on the first down carry. So they go Thomas 3 times in a row, and he will get a break as Pugh enters the game. Sam Beecher, the freshman outside linebacker for the Cohawks, makes a tackle on that play. Funk goes in a shotgun set. Twin set, 2 receivers top of the screen, 2 to the bottom. Funk will drop back. Good protection. Steps up. He's got a man over the middle, and that one's deflected off the hands of Beecher. Funk tried to fit down the seam to Pierre. It thankfully falls incomplete for the Falcons, but they're now faced with a 3rd and 9, their opening drive of the second half. The Falcons' offensive line have kept Funk clean. Hasn't been pressured, and has only been pressured 1 time this afternoon. The Cohawks show pressure here. 7 guys at the line of scrimmage. Funk alone in the backfield. Pressure comes. Has a man. Does it underneath. It's Crowell. Crowell takes a huge hit from Tolbert out at the 45-yard line, and Crowell will be a yard shy of the line to gain. It will be 4th and 1 for the Falcon offense. And the Falcon coaching staff faced with a tough decision here. Down 16. Do you go for it? Looks like the offense will remain on the field as they bring in the tight end. Crowell makes his first reception of the afternoon, picked up 8. Yard shy. Ball spotted at the 45-yard line. Cohawks crowd the line of scrimmage. Pierre goes in motion. Play clock under 10. Do the Falcons try to get him to jump? And a timeout called by the Falcons as they're going to take an extra moment to think about it. Their punt team end up in the box just in case. But 4th and 1, down 16, playoff game at home. You got to think they go for it here. So the Falcons burn a timeout. 6:27 to go in the 3rd quarter. Down 16. They keep their offense on the field. They bring in a jumbo set here. Extra offensive line. 2 tight ends. Pugh in the backfield with Funk. Give us the Pugh up gut. And it's too close to call. And the officials wave the chain gang down the sideline, so the Falcons need one. They get one. 1st down. A gutsy call from the Falcon coaching staff, but it pays off and this drive continues. So Pugh picks up the 1st down. He'll take a break. Thomas back in the backfield. 11 personnel. 2 receivers go to the top of the field, 10 to the bottom. Funk is shotgun set. Pierre in motion. Action pass. Funk drops back. Well protected. He's going to check down to Pierre. Pierre makes a move. Cuts it across the 50-yard line. Oh, and that ball came out. And there's too many Cohawks around that football. They're pointing their way. Who comes up with it? It's Cohawk football. A big tackle, a hit, a strip, and a recovery for Jack Clarahan. And the Cohawks defense comes up with their 2nd turnover of the afternoon. So a gutsy 4th and 1. The Falcons pick it up. Funk goes through his reads. Checks down to Pierre. Pierre makes a move. Loses the ball. And there's about 8 white jerseys around that football. I don't think Pierre ever had a chance of falling back on top of it. So the 2nd turnover for the Cohawk defense. It sets their offense up with great field possession. Ball marked at their 49-yard line. Kelly and Cunningham in the backfield. Play action pass out to Kolash. Kolash has a block. He's tripped up and dives ahead for 8. So a good pitch and catch on 1st down. Kelly and Kolash have been in sync late in the 1st half into the 2nd half. Cunningham remains in the game. Haven't seen Drummer yet on this possession. It'll be 2nd and 2 from the Falcon 44. Approaching the 5-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. 1 tight end in the Cohawks, 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen. This one's given to Cunningham. Cunningham tries the right side. He's got a 1st down and a little more. Dives ahead to the 35-yard line. And a good run for the sophomore back out of Spring, Texas. As Drummer enters this drive, Kolash heads to the sideline. So it'll be Kelly and 2 running backs in the backfield. 2 receivers split out wide, 1 tight end at the bottom of the formation. Falcons bring 8 into the box. Give this to Cunningham. Cunningham cuts the right side, dragged down by Birch, but Cunningham's going to pick up another good gain. He picks up 6 on the 1st down carry. So the Cohawks only ran the ball 7 times in the first half, have committed to the ground here in the second half, and it's paid off. Every gain looks to be going for 5 or 6 yards in this Falcon defense, who's really strong against on the ground. Another give to Cunningham. Cunningham hits a wall, and he's going to be dragged down by Sellers after a short gain. That time they picks up to 3rd and 2 Cohawks.
Down to 27-yard line. He's up 3rd down and 2.
So one of my keys to the game, and I mentioned it at halftime, the Falcons need to make stops here if they have any chance of hanging around in this one. 3rd and 2. Cunningham remains in the game. Kolash motions in. Oh, and pressure in the backfield, but Cunningham makes a move, slips to the outside, and he's got another first down, another 3rd down pickup for this Cohawk offense, and they keep the drive alive. Well into Falcon territory now, inside the 25. Ball will be marked down at the 24. Drummer back into the game. So the Falcons got a healthy dose of Drummer in the first half, now a healthy dose of Cunningham to open this second half. We've hit the 3-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Cohawks threatening it again. Give us to Drummer. Drummer's left side. He's got blockers. He hits the edge. And Duncan Ireland, the 3rd, gets him from behind. But Drummer is going to pick up 6 on the first down carry. So another positive gain on the ground for the Cohawks as they keep the clock moving and the chains moving. What's key for an offense on the ground is getting big pickups on 1st and 2nd and down to get to 3rd and manageable. And that's what the Cohawks have done here in the 3rd quarter. Every time they're down, it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. And they're doing it all on the ground. So 2 running backs, split Kelly in the backfield. Give us to Cunningham up the gut. Tries the right side. He's going to be marked inside the 15 to the 14. And it may be another Cohawk first down. And the chains move ahead. See Cohawks now with 90 yards on the ground, most of it coming here in the 3rd quarter. Another give to Cunningham. He knifes through the Falcons defense, fights off a tackler, still on his feet, and he's finally brought down, but he picks up 7 on the first down carry. So every first down run going for 6 or 7 a pop. And it's going to be 2nd and short for the Cohawk offense. Cohawks have been committed to the 2 running back look, 21 personnel. So that's 2 running backs, 1 tight end. Tight end go to the right side of the formation. Play action pass. Looking left side. Incomplete, but flags fly. An obvious pass interference, and the guilty party will be the Falcons corner on the far end.
Pass interference. Defense, number 9. Malou on the line. We first and goal.
So Amari Waldron, the guilty party for the Falcons. A foul occurred in the end zone, so the ball will be marked at 2. Under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter, and the Cohawks knocking on the door once again. Cunningham and Drummer remain in the game. 21 personnel, 2 receivers split out wide. Shotgun set, gives to Cunningham. He's following blockers, dips the shoulder, and he's in for a Cohawk touchdown. So Cunningham and the Cohawk offense, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, and they tack on 6 more. Their lead goes to 29-7 late here in the 3rd quarter. Collette on for the extra point. His last one was blocked. Snap, hold, gets down, kick is through the uprights.
Good.
So it's Cohawks 30, Falcons 7, 46 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, and the Falcon offense has work to do. The Cohawks have taken advantage of both their drives to start the second half, and they've built a 23-point lead here on the Falcons at Tomasini Stadium. Collette to kick off, left to right to return. For the Falcons goes Cameron Pierre and number 11 Victor Watson Jr. The last couple of kickoffs have gone Watson's way. Let's see if they keep kicking it his way. Again, Pierre, an all-conference return for the Falcons. This is a low-line drive. Gets hung up, and it doesn't bounce in the end zone. Watson has to get it. He picks it up, and he's going to be dragged down by a gang of Cohawks at the 10-yard line. So an unfortunate bounce for the Falcons return team, and they're going to be pinned deep in their own territory, 90 yards away from the goal line. Let's see what the Falcons offense can do here late in the third quarter. So it was the right choice from Watson to let that kick go over his head, but it died as soon as it hit the one. So Watson's able to pick up what he can. All spotted at the 10-yard line. 42 seconds to go in the third quarter. Falcons offense just their second possession of the second half. It'll be Pugh and Funk in the backfield. 3 receivers go to the bottom screen, 1 to the top. Give us the Pugh up the gut. He follows his blocks, slips a tackle, spins away from another, but he's quickly wrapped up at the 15-yard line. So a positive first down carry for Pugh. He picks up 5. The Falcons will be faced with a 2nd and 5. They don't have to run a play before the end of the third quarter, but I think it would be wise if they did. Get as many yards as you can now and see what you have, then see what you can get entering the fourth quarter. Play action pass, Funk to pass. Looking over the middle, he's got Jack Bradley across the middle of the field up to the 34. So an excellent completion between Funk and Bradley. A big pickup for the Falcon offense, 19 yards, and that will do it for the third quarter. So it'll be 1st and 10 Falcons from the 34, but they are down 30-7 as we enter the fourth quarter. You're watching the opening round of the NCAA Division III football playoffs right here on ESPN+. The fourth quarter has started here at Tomasini Stadium in Mequon, Wisconsin, the home of the Concordia University Wisconsin Falcons. 4 receivers split wide for Funk. Pugh remains in the game. Funk the pass. Looks right. Good protection. He's going to roll right. And he will wisely throw this one into the Concordia sideline. 2nd and 10 Falcons. The Falcons, they may be down by 23, but there's a lot of positives from their offense. Funk, 16-22, 135 through the air. Jack Bradley, their leading receiver, 5 catches for 41 yards. Thomas getting it done on the ground, 8 carries for 70. Pugh has 9 carries, 31 yards, and a touchdown. So their offense has been able to move the ball, but their defense cannot stop the co-attack. Here's Thomas up the gut, lowers his shoulder, and he's going to pick up about 4 on the second down carry. So it'll be 3rd and manageable for the Falcon offense.
38-yard line. They're down and 6.
So the Falcons find themselves down 3 scores. They gotta pick up the pace now here as we enter the 4th quarter, because they might not get the ball 3 more times. They need to capitalize here. Pick up this 3rd down, punch this in the end zone with enough time on the clock that they can foresee that they get the ball a handful of times. Funk to pass. Good protection. Blitz comes over the middle looking for Pierre, and that one's over the head and incomplete. Good coverage in the back end by the Cohawks, and that forces a 4th down for the Falcons. Again, down 3 scores. I don't foresee Coach Eder punting here, but he does send out the punt team. So this Falcons defense, who hasn't been able to stop the Cohawk offense, is going to be faced with another tall task as the Falcons look to punt it away. Taylor goes back to return for the Cohawks. Falcons in punt formation. Good snap. Kick is away. High end over end kick. Taylor, fair catch. Oh, and it goes through his hands. And the Falcons are there. Oh, and there's a flag down. The Falcons finally catch a break, but a flag came in late. This may be fair catch interference. I don't think he got in the way of Taylor making the catch as it went right through his hands. And the Falcons had 3 guys, Johnny on the spot, ready to pick up the fumble. But this flag may wipe out a turnover. So the Falcons losing the turnover battle today, 2-0, down 23. As you see the Falcon faithful not fans of that call. And that could be a game changer. The Falcons were going to get the ball at the 30-yard line on an error by Taylor fielding that kick, but the penalty wiped out the turnover. And the Cohawks will start with the ball with decent field position as the officials will mark off some extra yardage. The officials tack on 15 yards from the spot of the foul. So instead of the ball starting at the 29, it will start at the 44-yard line. And the Cohawks with good field position. Kelly will pass. He's got Cunningham in the backfield. Cunningham has blocks this, tries to turn it up, but an excellent open field tackle by number 22 for the Falcons. So a short gain on 1st down for Kelly to Cunningham, just 1 yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Cohawk offense. Kelly with Cunningham in the backfield. So it was all Drummer in the first half. We've seen a healthy dose of Cunningham here in the second half. Give is to Cunningham, up the gut, follows his block, tries the right side. He knifes through the Falcons defense. He's got a 1st down and more to Falcon territory. Ball at the 44-yard line now. 1st down Cohawks. So Kelly, who is very effective through the air. Again, he's 18 of 21, 233 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the Cohawks have been dominant on the ground here in the second half. Cunningham remains in the game. Play action pass, quick strike. Kovash on the outside, has a blocker, turns it up. Makes a man miss, and he's going to be wrapped up right around the line to gain near the 35-yard line. Clock continues to move here. Kolash will be about a yard shy of the line again, so a pickup of 9 on 1st down.
35-yard line will be 2nd down and 1.
So Kolash and centers will go to the bottom of the screen here. Top 2 targets for Kelly. Cunningham remains in the game. One tight end to the left side of the formation. Gives to Cunningham up the gut. Knocks off a tackler, tries the left side. He bounces to the outside. Cunningham inside the 20 to the 10. Diving effort, and Cunningham makes it to the end zone. Touchdown, Cohawks. Cunningham second of the second half, and the Cohawks have blown this one wide open here. Cunningham got the ball up the gut. He faced an initial wave, bounces to the outside, and no one was home for the Falcons. And Cunningham, with a burst of speed down the sideline, runs it in for 6. Cunningham second of the afternoon. His longest rush, the longest rush on either team this afternoon. And the Cohawks have built a lead at 36-7 here in the fourth quarter. Extra point is good. So tack on the extra point. It's now a 30-point lead for the Cohawks. 12:02 remaining in the fourth quarter. And Funk and the Falcon offense have a lot of work to do, and they got to do it quickly. Was the first half dominated through the air by Kelly. It has been all on the ground for the Cohawks here in the third and into the fourth quarter. Healthy dose of Drummer in the first half, a healthy dose of Cunningham in the second half, and the Cohawks have this one wide open. It was 17-7 at half. This game now 37-7, early stages of the fourth quarter. So as we wait the kickoff from Colette, Coach Eder voicing some displeasures with the officiating crew, which caused the delay. Pierre and Watson deep to return. Cohawks set to kick off now. It was a day full of excitement and anticipation for this Falcon football team. Has quickly turned around on them. 10-point halftime deficit has ballooned to a 30-point deficit. And the Cohawks in full control of this one. As this kickoff is kicked deep, Pierre will let this one go over his head, and that ball lands in the end zone. Touchback. It'll be first down, Falcons. So not only is this ground game punched in 3 touchdowns for the Cohawks, it has eaten up the majority of this second half. This is the Falcons' third time with the football, and we're 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. They'll start at the 25-yard line. And we will see Hinton in the backfield with Funk. Hinton just 1 carry on the afternoon, his second drive of the game. Funk will pass. Delayed pressure. Over the middle, Pierre. And Pierre quickly wrapped up. Oh, he escaped a tackle across the 30 and driven down at the 31. So a nice pitch and catch between Funk and Pierre. Pierre with a 7-yard gain on first, setting up second and short for the Falcons. That is Pierre's 5th catch of the afternoon. He's up 30 yards receiving. Bradley leading the way in the receiving department. Again, no sign of Jaden Leonard for the Falcons. Their number 1 receiver, school record 16 touchdowns this season. He's got 1 target. To give the Hinton up the gut. Tries the left side, and he's quickly wrapped up. No gain. Good run defense there from the Cohawks up front. And a Cohawk defender is down on the field. Number 22, Jack Clarahan, he had the strip and fumble recovery on the last Falcon possession, but he's able to get to his feet and walk to the sideline. not only has it been the ground game, the Cohawks making a difference here, it's also the turnover battle. So Cohawks on the Falcons' opening drive intercepted Funk in the end zone, turned that one into points. Falcons turn over on downs near midfield. Cohawks go down and score. And then a fumble from Pierre. Cohawks again recover, turn it into points. And then what would have been a fumble on the punt, dropped by Taylor, waved off of the flag. Then it turns into a Cunningham touchdown. That is not Leonard on the reception. That's Victor Watson Jr., the sophomore wide receiver out of Cypress, Texas, making his first catch of the afternoon. And it's good enough for a first down. So speaking of Leonard, he's not even out there on the field as Thomas joins Funk in the backfield. Bradley at the bottom of the screen, Watson to the top. Funk drops back to pass again. Good protection. Checks it down to Thomas. Thomas makes the catch. Falls down at the 45-yard line. That's Thomas's second catch of the afternoon. He picks up 4. So a couple of good completions for Funk to open in this drive. But again, too much time being wasted. We're at 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter. This drive has only gone 20 yards, but has taken up 2 minutes of game time. Corell goes in motion across the formation. Funk to pass again. He rolled right. Got blockers in front. Looking right. Trying sideline. That one's intercepted. 2 Falcons can't bring him down, and it's Kyle Kingsbury, sophomore defensive back out of Nevada, Iowa, who comes up with the interception, returns it to the Falcon side of the field. And that may as well do it here for the Falcons. Funk was looking for Pierre in the corner, underthrew it. Kingsbury, excellent coverage, sitting underneath the route, makes a play on the football, and he's able to intercept it. The third turnover for the Falcons this afternoon, and the Cohawks are set up yet again with great field possession. Under 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Cohawks by 20. Brady Kelly remains on field. He's got 3 receivers to the top of the screen and a new running back into the game for the Cohawks. Kelly to pass. Swings it out. That one low and incomplete. Intended for the new running back, number 9, Isaiah Lee. Lee, a senior running back out of Kenner, Louisiana, making his first appearance in this afternoon's ballgame. So they get him in the game, look to throw to him. Kelly short arms it, incomplete. Just Kelly's 5th incompletion all afternoon. So it'll go 2nd and 10 for the Cohawk offense from the Falcon 43-yard line. 1 tight end, 3 receivers. Kelly gives to Lee. Lee right side, and he's wrapped up and brought down by Ben Birch. So Lee is able to pick up 4 yards on the 2nd down carry. Cohawks yet again dominant on the ground. Their guys up front getting a good push on this Falcon defensive line. The Falcons have run 3 defensive linemen all afternoon. At some point, you're going to have to bring extra guys in the box to stop the run game. Give it to Lee up the gut. And he's hit right the line of scrimmage and brought down immediately. No gain on the play. First one there for the Falcons. Number 9, Jaden Lewis, the sophomore defensive lineman out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So the Falcons' run defense comes up big on 3rd down, and they force the Cohawks into a 4th and 5. Again, the Falcons' defense struggled to get off this field this afternoon. Another 4th down opportunity for the Cohawks. Oh, and it's Sellers jumps off sides. And that may be enough for the first down. So it's 4th and 5. The offsides gives them 5. First down, Cohawks. So my keys to the game for the Falcons were take care of the football, win the turnover battle, and make stops on defense. None of that has gone according to plan for Falcons. They're losing the turnover battle, and every time it gets to 3rd down, 4th down, their defense can't get off the field. They've only forced 1 3-and-out all afternoon. They have not forced a turnover. Kelly pass. He has Kolach on the outside. Kolek slips the defender up the sideline, stays in bounds, and he may have enough for the first down on the far sideline. So Kelly and the Kohawk offense continue to be productive. Kolesh picks up 8 on the first down reception. Stayed in bounds. Clock continues to run. Under 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Lee remains in the backfield with Kelly. Would imagine Cunningham and Drummer's afternoons are over. Here's Lee out of the backfield. He's got a catch. Drags the defender inside the 20 up to 16, and that's enough for a Kohawk first down. Ireland, the third on the stop, wasn't able to contain Lee as Lee picks up the first down. Give it to Lee up the gut, and Lee will be quickly brought down. Excellent pressure up front. Birch cleans it up. So Lee picked up no gain. Be 2nd and 10 for the Kohawks. Lee, again, getting his first action of the afternoon. It's been all Cunningham and Drummer along this way, but I imagine that their afternoons are over after putting a hurting on the Falcons up front. Give it to Lee again up the middle. Birch is there, and a wave of Falcons defenders come up to clean it up. Lee picks up 4 on the second down carry. Kohawks now with over 140 yards on the ground. Three receivers go top of the screen. 3rd and 7 for the Kohawks. Lee remains in the game. Kelly pump fakes, looking for a man. Has to roll, rolls left, can't find anyone. He's got room to run, looking for the pylon, and he'll dart out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Kelly, who hasn't picked up anything on the ground, picks up first down with his legs, and the Kohawks are inside the Falcon 5. So Cunningham's afternoon ends with 84 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Drummer 70 on the ground and a touchdown. Again, Drummer also has 7 receptions for more than 90 yards on the afternoon. So a 2-headed monster out of the backfield for the Kohawks, and that has helped them build a 20-point lead as they look to tack on more. A lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage. Give it to Lee up the gut. And Lee is stopped at the line of scrimmage. An excellent tackle there in the hole by number 40. Caleb Weichel, the freshman linebacker for the Falcons. So a short gain for Lee. Kohawks can smell the end zone once more. We're under 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Oh, and Lee's crushed in the back. That ball came out. The Falcons may have forced a turnover down near the goal line, and they do. A huge hit on Lee. Ball comes out, so the Falcons defense stands tall, and they finally get a stop. They finally force a turnover. And as good as that sounds, Funk and the Falcon offense are going to have to go 98 yards if they have any chance of remaining in this game. 4:34 to go. So a game that saw a almost sellout crowd, alumni in attendance, a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement. Things haven't gone Falcons' way as they find themselves down 20 late in the fourth quarter. Falcons come out with a jumbo formation, extra linemen, 2 tight ends. Q will be the running back. Give is to Pugh up the gut. He makes a nice move in the hole. He gets it out across the 5 up to the 7-yard line. So Pugh's going to give the Falcon offense some breathing room, but a lineman is down behind the play. So even though things may have not gone the Falcons' way to this afternoon, it's still been a historic season for the Falcon football team. Their first playoff game in more than 10 years, first outright conference championship in more than 10 years, first home playoff game in almost 20 years. Not only have the NAC Conference Championship trophy, they also win back the Luther Cup and the Cheese Bowl trophy. So a lot of hardware, a lot of wins, some records. Like I said, Jason Leonard, 16 touchdowns a year. That's a school record for touchdowns scored in a season. As the offensive lineman for the Falcons, number 74, Kenneth Thompson Jr. gets to his feet and will make the walk to the sideline. Coach Eder, head coach of the year in the NAC Conference. Coran White, assistant coach of the year in the conference. Marquinton Sellers, defensive lineman of the year for the conference. 17 all-conference selections for the Falcons. 9-1, 8-0 in conference play. But I think they have met the match this afternoon with Cohawks. Funk in the shotgun set. Pugh remains in the game. Gives the Pugh up the gut. Oh, his play action pass, and Funk is hit as he threw. Incomplete. And the Falcons will be faced with a third down inside their own 10-yard line. The Cohawks on the other side, third straight playoff appearance. This will be their first time advancing out of the first round since 2016. That was Coach Staker's first year at the helm as head coach. They finished second in conference play, 8-2 overall, 7-1 in conference play, 14 all-conference selections. Their quarterback, Brady Kelly, offensive MVP of the year. Funk looks past, pressure's on. He's hitting the end zone. Ball is out. The Cohawks look to have jumped on it. They have, and it's a touchdown. So the Falcons force a turnover. Then they turn it over themselves. A strip sack in the end zone. Cohawks land on it, and their defense comes up with a massive play and a touchdown, and they extend their lead 43-7, extra point pending. Funk had his eyes downfield, was looking for Pierre down the left sideline, never saw the blitz come off the end. Falcons can't pick it up. Strip sack in the end zone. Couldn't see who fell on it, but either way, another touchdown this way. This one coming by way of defense. And Collette looks to tack on the extra point. The extra point is good, and with 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, it is Cohawks 44, Falcons 7. You're watching the first round of the NCAA Division III football playoffs right here on ESPN+. So 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Cohawks looking to kick off again. Watson and Cameron Pierre deep to return. Trying to take a look at other action around the state of Wisconsin. Culver's Isthmus Bowl just kicked off. And looking to find some stats on the 2025 Lakefront Bowl, which the Falcons participated in the inaugural Lakefront Bowl back in 2022. Pierre will turn this from the 1, tries the left side, makes a cut. He's got room up the middle, and he dives across the 20-yard line. So a solid return for the Falcons returner, and the Falcons will set up shop at the 20-yard line. Funk and the starting offense remain out there for the Falcons. Funk hands to Thomas. Thomas left side, cuts it back, and he can't go anywhere. Good movement up for the Cohawks up front, and they tackle Thomas for a loss. His first negative rush of the afternoon. He just loses one. Back to the Lakefront Bowl. It is Aurora, the rival of the Falcons, taking on Illinois College from the Midwest Conference. Monmouth, the winner of the Midwest Conference at 9-0. They'll be playing a second round of the Division III football playoffs. Concordia, of course, in action here. Thomas is in the game. He gets the carry, tries the right side. Nice cut in the hole. Spins to the defender. He's out across the 25, up to the 27. So he's going to pick up 8, but it'll be 3rd and 3 for the Falcons. Thomas now over 80 yards on the ground this afternoon. Recapping stats here. Co only ran the ball 7 times in the first half. They are now at 34 rushing attempts. Most of the damage coming by way of Trayshawn Cunningham here in the second half. As Thomas gets a play action pass here. Funk has an open man. He's got room to run. A blocker down the sideline, out across the 45, up to the 47-yard line. Goes number 86, Samuel Frederking, a freshman tight end out of Lakeland, Florida. His first reception of the game is a big one, and he gets the ball up near midfield. Co averaged 2.2 yards a rush. They've advanced that average to 4.6. Here's Thomas up the gut. He's going to get a decent carry on first down, picks up 6. The Falcons, on the other hand, with 120 yards on the ground, averaging about 4 yards on the ground, and that will be the 2-minute timeout. Cohawks 44, Falcons 7. Under to go here in the fourth quarter. It's been all Cohawks in this second half. We'll be back with more action in the first round of the Division III football playoffs from Mequon, Wisconsin in a moment. Second and 4 for the Falcons here as we're under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Pugh back in the backfield. He gets the handoff from Funk. Following his blocks and dives across the line to gain. I take it back, not Pugh. Is number 20, Jordan Garcia, senior running back out of Lockhart, Texas. First time we've called his name this afternoon. Checking back in with the front bowl. That is the bowl game featuring the second place in the NAC and the second place in the Midwest Conference. It's Aurora 7, Illinois College 0 at the end of 1. Give it to Garcia up the gut again. Lowers his shoulder. He's going to pick up 5 on the first down carry. So 2 productive carries for the senior back. And what will be his last work of his Concordia career. Slow moving here. Time ticks down. We're approaching the 1-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Falcons can attempt keeping it on the ground. We have an update from the Lakefront Bowl. Live stats seem to be behind. That game actually kicked off around the same time this one did. It is Aurora 49, Illinois College 14. That game played at the home stadium of Wisconsin Lutheran. Garcia heads to the sideline. Thomas in the backfield now. .30 seconds to go. Thomas again. Falcons contempt to keep it on the ground. Thomas dodges ahead near the line to gain. He'll pick up the first down. But that may be it on this afternoon. Clock will stop momentarily for the line, for the chains to move. Under 20 seconds to go. And the Falcons are A-okay with letting this game expire. So, what was an excellent matchup between the Co-College Cohawks and your Concordia Falcons. This first round action goes the way of the Cohawks. Victors 44-7 over Concordia here from MEC 1, Wisconsin. The clock has hit triple zeros. The final score once again 44-7. It was the Falcons who opened the game with an excellent drive, but an interception in the end zone turns into points for Co. Then another turnover by the Falcons offense. Co eventually went up 14-0 in the first quarter. The Falcons finally struck with a 2-yard run from Jacob Pugh, making it 14-7, but as time expired in the first half, a field goal made it 17-7 at the half. But then the second half, dominated by the Cohawks, mostly on the ground, thanks to Drummer and Cunningham. The Cohawks eventually, the Falcons had no answer to the Cohawks rush game. The Cohawks blew this one open, a strip sack in the end zone to cap things off, and the Cohawks victors in the first round action here. Again, 44-7 over the Falcons. The Cohawks will travel to Minnesota next week to take on Bethel College in the second round of the NCAA Division III football players. As for myself, the crew behind the scenes, and everyone at Concordia University, Wisconsin, we thank you for tuning in. Until next season, good night.